earth, water, fire, air. They're the four great elements, but are they also elements of danger if you live in Thailand? Thailand, like any travel destination, well, there's a few things that you should be aware of for your safety and peace of mind. Today I'm going to look at some of the potential dangers, but also give you some ways of mitigating the risk. So what on earth is going on with Thailand's roads? You might have seen on the internet several times that Thailand has the second most dangerous roads in the world. You just got to bear in mind that the normal rules of road safety don't necessarily apply in Thailand as they might in your home country. So the enforcement of basic rules like wearing a crash helmet when you go on a motorbike, they don't really seem to be enforced with the same vigour as they might be. So add into that the fact that 85% of all road accidents involve motorcycles, and you know what my advice is probably going to be. I'm not in favour of the nanny state, but Thailand is not the place to learn how to ride a motorbike if you've never driven one before in your life. And it's certainly not the sort of place to be going around without a crash helmet. I've had experience myself when I was in Bangkok and I needed to get between two jobs that I was doing. The first time I got a bus, I was late. The second time I got a taxi, I was still late. So the third time I got a motorcycle. And as we're going along, my motorcycle got hit by another motorcycle. Everyone went in the air. And it's on the way down that I realised I'm the only one not wearing a helmet. And by then, I'm on my backside on the tarmac with a car approaching at 30 miles an hour. It's not something that I want to repeat. Another bit of simple advice that I can use is, if you do drive, then probably give it a rest around Thai New Year, Songkran time, and also the end of the year, the 31st of December. Those days around the holidays are known as 7 deadly days in Thailand, and the government does try to reduce the number of fatalities at that time of year on an annual basis, but there's still several hundred people who sadly don't see in the new year because the roads are so packed, so dangerous, everyone's rushing to get home. Those are good days to stay indoors. Crossing the road, well, I remember speaking to an American friend. He said, I'm confused by Thailand's roads because I look the wrong way when I'm trying to cross the road. But I said to him, you should look both ways when you're trying to cross the road, even if you're crossing a one-way street, because you don't know which way the traffic's going to come from. And even if you're crossing on a pelican crossing with green in your favour, there's no certainty that anyone's going to stop for you. So for most people, when they come on vacation or come to live in a country like Thailand, they're attracted by the blue skies, the palm trees, the turquoise blue seas and the fine views, and why not? But just bear in mind that sometimes the air quality around Thailand is not good. In fact, I checked on the rankings that I could see for the last year reported, and Thailand was 28th on the list of most polluted countries in the world. Now, in some sense, that doesn't sound that bad to me, but bear in mind that during the burning season for a couple of months or so during the year, some cities in Thailand are ranked number 1, the worst in the world. I do hotel reviews on this channel, and one of the things that I noticed when I went to Chiang Mai was that most of the hotel rooms where I stayed, they had air purifiers in the room. And that's because at the beginning of the year in Chiang Mai, in the north of Thailand, because of the burning season being there, because of pollution coming in from other countries, because of the factories around Thailand, because of the traffic in the big cities where some of the vehicles are on the old side and maybe exhaust emissions aren't checked as thoroughly as they might be, and because of the amount of construction and development going on and all the dust that goes with that, then it can be a really serious problem for a few months of the year. So what can you do about it? You can download an app that will tell you all the details about PM 2.5, and in fact you can even get from Lazada, a sort of Amazon online type shopping, a little air quality checker that can hopefully keep you a bit safe. I lived in Bangkok for over 10 years, and you can see some pictures of me wearing a mask, and people have said to me, why are you wearing a mask? COVID hadn't even started by that date. Well, no, people in Bangkok and other major cities were wearing masks well before COVID, not because of that threat, but because of the air pollution. You were waking up in the morning like I was a teacher, I had a sore throat just from the pollution. And of course, if you're one of those who gets asthma or susceptible to those types of illnesses, it can be a really serious problem. But maybe you're not the sort of person to be worried about health problems like that, fair enough. But who wants their selfies, their Instagram pictures, their Facebook pictures to be showing grey skies and a grey sea when you're meant to be on vacation? So don't forget, if you're coming to Thailand, you're coming to a tropical climate. So as well as the beautiful sunshine and the beautiful blue skies, there will be days like this one where it's a tropical rainstorm. In certain areas at certain times, it's really serious. Just last week in Chiang Mai in the north of Thailand, they had flooding, the worst they've had on record. A lot of people lost their homes and businesses. One person at least lost their life. 2 elephants lost their lives. The flood was so strong that they were carried away and lost. And you do have to prepare for the fact that it's going to be rainy season right about now. One of the touristy things that I still like to do in Thailand is see a fire show. I mean, who wouldn't? Ice cold beer in the hand, loud music, fantastic show. But fire is still one of the things that I do keep in mind when I'm in Thailand, because even in the short time that I've been here, I've just seen and heard about too many accidents associated with fire. I remember the first New Year that I was here, there was a fire in a nightclub, the Sandika Club in Egamai, and about 68 people lost their lives. And later it came out that really the loss of life there was completely avoidable if basic safety features had been in place. And then there was the nightclub fire in Phuket on Bangla Road at the Tiger Club. Again, loss of life. And then most recently, another nightclub, Mountain Bee in Chonburi in the Sattahip area, again resulting in loss of life. And all sorts of allegations going around about whether these places were licensed, whether the fire escapes were open, whether there were sufficient fire extinguishers, all sorts of issues that just make you think you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Only in the last month, there was the really heartbreaking news of 20 school children who died, along with 3 of their teachers, when they went on a school trip on a bus that had an accident and then was engulfed in fire. And the real tragedy of that is, again, it seemed to be avoidable, because that bus, investigators found out, was powered by natural gas cylinders, some of which had been illegally installed in the bus and contributed towards the severity of that fire and the subsequent loss of life. Realistically, is there anything you can do about it? Is it something that you should be worried about, or is it just the wrong place at the wrong time? Well, it certainly is that. But I got to be honest, if I book some form of transport, I'm looking at the reviews on the internet to see, like I do with airlines, which is the reputable operator and which one's got a good safety record. If I go into a small bar, a nightclub or a restaurant, I want to know where the exit is and if there's a fire exit or fire plan to get me out of there should the worst happen. And to be even more honest, when it comes to transport, I try and avoid anything like the minivans where you can be crammed in. And it's got to be true that it would be much more difficult to get out of cramped in conditions in a minivan than it would be in another form of transport. So whilst I don't let it really affect my enjoyment of this wonderful country that I'm living in, I do admit that I keep some of these things in my mind. Overall, the best decision that I made in my life was 15 years ago when I decided to come and live in Thailand full time. And there's nothing in this video that has changed my mind that I made absolutely the right decision. You only have to look at the sunset tonight. The combination of the fire in the sky, of the sea, of the land, and really it confirms that this is one of the most wonderful places to come and call home. But in doing so, don't forget your own safety so you can enjoy it for as many years as possible. If you found this video interesting or informative, do give me a comment, a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you again for another new video very soon. But for now, see you next time. Bye bye.